Guys, welcome to a very special episode of the Random Encounter Show. I'm Deathstalker V. I'm coming in from a new place. You know, some of our viewers may be going, what the heck's going on? This episode's going to be full of big, major updates for the show, for myself, for the Random Encounter Army, and I'm going to sit down and give you the news that I've been holding for about 2 months. I've been hard at work, yeah? Part of that news is we have a new place to film. We'll go on a game room tour toward the end of the episode. But like I said, I have a lot I want to cover, including some RuneQuest material. Yeah? How exciting. What a great way to come back. What a great community we have that's been so supportive since I've been away. But without further ado, I'm going to sit down at the table where I belong and let's get into the thick of things. This feels wonderful. It truly does. It truly does. Yeah, I've been working so hard and doing so much that it's been around 2 months since I got to sit in front of the camera here at the table and address the Random Encounter Army. The Random Encounter Army, in case you're new, is our just beyond fantastic community here of subscribers, channel members, the Rogues Gallery, people on our Discord, Facebook groups, etc. If you want to get more involved in the community, there is a link down below in the description of this video to all the places where you can jump right in, start sharing your hobby, talking to other people in the Random Encounter Army. We even have game rooms and such set up. Yeah, it's time to get involved because it's time for the Random Encounter Show. Yeah? Just because we're filming in a new place doesn't mean that the rules have changed. Make sure you have something to drink. I'm drinking a Spriker ginger ale. Why? Because I'm on my 7th day of antibiotics from yet another root canal. Yeah? But we're not here to talk about root canals. Yeah. So I imagine everyone's wanting to know a little bit about what's going on. So I said we'll do this in a series of updates for all of you. Yeah? Update number 1. Things I've got questions in. But update number 1, the main thing is, am I all right? Am I okay? We haven't seen you in almost 3 months, etc. Yeah? The answer to that is I'm perfectly fine. I'm doing better than perfectly fine. I've taken the last around 2 months off, and I've literally hand-built a custom game room / film studio. Yeah? It has been a chore. I did it by myself, and when I say hand-built, we had an old room here at the Fortress of Doom at the very back of the house that was used as storage and such. It wasn't in great shape. I literally came in, I redid the walls, spackled them, you know, fixed all the holes and stuff. It looked like teenagers had been fighting in here in the remote past. But I got the walls straightened out. We repainted the walls, the trim, etc. We put in new flooring. We repainted the ceiling. I put in studio lighting in here. Yeah? We brought our old bookcase in. We built more bookcases to match it. I've been slowly bringing in all of our stuff. I've hung custom shelving all throughout the room, etc. We'll take a look at it here in a few minutes. Yeah, maybe more than a few minutes. I got a lot to talk about. But that's where I have been. And I've been working nonstop to make it happen. Lucky for the Rogues Gallery, our channel members, they got to come along for the ride. Yeah? Update number 2 is that why am I doing all of this? It has been a dream of mine since the beginning of the show that we have a dedicated place to set up, game in, and film in. I've literally been filming from my living room, the corner I get to use for gaming, and the back broom closet basically that I use for my miniature painting and such. Yeah, it's been a lot of that. So having a dedicated space where we can have our table, we can have all of our books and terrain and all this kind of stuff. We can set the table up. We can leave it overnight, etc. That's big time. Yeah, that's big time for me. So yeah, but the main reason that I wanted to do this, because I took a big chunk of investment money to make this happen, is because the other dream I have for this show and for this community is being able to do it full time. Yeah, that harkens back to a childhood dream I've had. You know, that even as a kid, I thought there must be a way to be involved in gaming where you can game, have fun, and also make money, make it a job. You know, most kids dreamed of being astronauts, or physicists, or finding a cure for cancer. Deathstalker 5 dreamed of a way we're going to play games and make a living. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of stuff culminating, but that's the thing, is that as of I've been working on all this and everything, I've put a lot of my projects and stuff to the side that I did for making money, and I still have a few rolling, but it's going full time here to the point where the show can fund itself. Yeah, and Deathstalker 5's not eating Vienna sausages and ramen noodles every meal. You know, that would be fantastic. So I will tell you, I'm not one of those people that like to beg for subscribers, beg for people to, I don't know, I'm not one of those people. Yeah? But I will say that if you wanted to support the show in any kind of way, now is the time to jump in. Whether it's subscribing to the channel, whether it's becoming a channel member, I promise you, you'll get your money's worth over there if you love the Random Encounter show. Yeah, you might get a little too much. But using our drive-through affiliate link, description down below, and just being a general part of our community, every bit of that helps support the show. And so for all of those that's been supporting the show, that's been in this long ride so far of complete chaos, my hat's off to you. Yeah? Now, as far as the show's gonna go, the Random Encounter show, it's going to be expanding. I don't know how quickly it's going to expand, but we're definitely going to be expanding. You're going to be getting at least a weekly show, but my plans are several shows a week. You know, I'm not going to go and hit you with nonsense videos every day of the week like a vlog or something. Hey, today I grilled a hamburger and I played Monopoly with my family. No, we're not doing that. Yeah? But we will work on getting you quality, good, and real content out on a weekly basis and expanding that further. As you see, when we'll do our game room, as you saw the other side of the room when I came in, we have two halves to the room. This is the tabletop side. You know, I've got it set up, wall-to-wall shelves. I've got my terrain. I've got some of my miniature collection and such behind me here. I've got stuff scattered throughout the side of the room here. We've got a closet here that's stuffed full so far. I'm not finished with the room. But what this does is I've always dreamed of this. You know, as I have a place I can sit and play, and it's almost like a solo corner or a game master corner. You know, that regardless if I'm playing by myself as a solo player, which is my normative way of playing RPGs, or that I have company over and they want to get into some gaming, whether it be board gaming, RPGs, etc., that I can take my seat right here where I belong, and I have everything in reach to where I can run a great game. Yeah? That's big time for me. That's big time. So, yeah. The other side of the room is dedicated to another hobby of mine. It's gaming. Yeah? But it's dedicated to a few classic consoles, mainly the Atari 7800, 2600, and Intellivision. But my that's stuff that I enjoy. But the main part of my video gaming hobby is actually enjoying classic hobby gaming computers, is how I would want to call it. We'll get into this stuff later. But we're talking things like the MSX, the Commodore 64, the Atari 8-bit, the TI 994A, the Tandy Computer 3, etc. Yeah? I have a massive love for those computers, and I went out and tracked down original computers in great condition. I've been refurbishing them. I've been putting together some killer rigs, and I have to say that I'm just in love with the scene. The 8-bit gaming scene. I'm just in love with it. I'm in love with it like I've never been before. Even though several of those computers I absolutely love back in their heydays. Yeah? But getting back to them, being able to explore the libraries, some of them have over 10,000 games. Most of them have thousands of games. It's an amazing experience. Yeah, it truly is. So we'll have that side. I'll be breaking down the computers, showing you all about the computers, talking about their games, doing reviews on games, looking at modern homebrew, the classic original library. We'll be doing live streaming. As the members already know, we've been testing out the live streaming from most all these computers and devices and such, and we're getting it down to a T. But we'll be doing some live streaming of games, especially long plays of some really awesome RPGs I've been finding, yeah? So there's that whole side. I'm planning to having live streams here on the table, yeah? Maybe I do table talk live sometimes. Maybe I hold special events live sometimes. Maybe I decide, hey, this solo RPG that I'm into right now, you know, I can use this as a teaching device, or I can use this to just chronicle how I go about solo RPGing. And I can turn the camera on and let you guys watch along, etc. But it gives me a way of directly interacting with the community like we haven't done before. So yeah, I'm just super excited. I'm planning all kind of stuff. Yeah, the rats are on the wheel. They're running. They're running full speed. Yeah, I gotta slow down a little bit. Maybe I'm planning too much because I've just got a head full of ideas. But even with all of that expanding, even with all the new content that we're going to be bringing you, or at least I'm going to be bringing you, but I may be getting some help at some point. But even with all that, the show's not going to change in its nature. I've been thinking about this a lot since my break, especially watching some other YouTube videos and stuff around. You know, I see a lot of great flashy videos, a lot of just outstanding editing and all that kind of stuff, and I absolutely enjoy that from a technical perspective. But I think what we do has a little bit of magic to it. Yeah? That number one, we're community based. Number two is that I don't come on and try to put on some kind of persona. I'm not coming on pretending to be a professor. I'm not coming on dressed in some weird costume with weird voices and stuff. I'm not hitting you with flashing lights and we're going like a Star Wars film to review the basic D&D or something. No, I've always kept it real. Yeah? What you see is who I am. Yeah? That's the absolute truth. Is what you see is what you get. I'm a real hobby gamer. I enjoy my hobbies. I'm passionate about them. And I think I have something to offer to the community and to the wide world of hobby gaming. So I sit down. I don't use scripts. I don't really even plan the episodes. I just figure out what it is I want to talk about. And then I come to you like you're sitting at the table with me. It's raw. And what you get is literally from my experience, from my knowledge base, and from my heart. And I think that's the magic that we have. And I think that's the magic that's going to keep pushing us forward. I really do. We're entering the age of AI-generated content like you've never seen before. I'm not talking about AI-generated images and stuff and videos. No, I'm talking about full length videos that are fully generated by AI, from the voices to the people to what's being shown, etc. And I see a lot of stuff where it's highly scripted. They won't burp like that on camera, but it's highly scripted. It's high production values, and it's just that YouTube's losing the authenticity that it had when it comes to content creators. It's losing the charm it had where you tuned into a channel and it felt like this was a person that you can relate to on some level, and they're actually talking to you like you're a person that they want to relate to on some level. Yeah, that's the magic that we have. That's the magic we're going to keep. We have so many affiliated YouTubers here, like Table Salt Games, Solitary RPG, Jawing with Jack, Adventures with Dice. So many. I don't mean to leave anybody out. I wasn't even planning on throwing channel names out there, but I never mind doing it. Why? Because these are channels that they're members of our community and such, and they're putting out solid content that's real. Yeah, that's what I enjoy the most. It's getting so rare. Anyway, can we move along? Yeah. Let's get into another update. What is this going to be? Number 3? I've been asked, is the holiday special coming? We're doing a holiday special this year. Absolutely yes. This year for our annual holiday special, I want to go big time somehow. I don't know what we'll do. We're going to do like we've always done for the last couple of years. Yeah, if you don't know about our holiday special, go to our channel page. There's a playlist for the annual holiday specials there. Take a look at them. What we do is we set up the camera. I get on, and the community submits videos. They submit cards and letters, sometimes boxes full of stuff. And we get on and we just have a fantastic time. We always open up the live chat. It's just the highlight of every year to me. It really is, because I love so much seeing this community come together. Like I harp on it all the time. I've probably said it 4 times this video, but I'll say it over and over and over. That this community is brilliant. That my number 1 goal with the channel, starting off, was to build a fantastic community of like-minded people with similar interests. They don't have to be the same interest. They don't have to be the same mind. But a community where it's really and truly about our gaming and wanting to share it and wanting to meet people and such. Yeah? The reason for that is I'm involved with a lot of online communities, social media groups, etc. There's hardly any of them that I really feel like I belong there. Yeah, I don't know what it is. There's always a ton of drama. There's always a ton of speculation. What's Wizards of the Coast going to do next? I'm like, who cares? Who cares? I'm not interested in Wizards of the Coast. I'm here for, I don't know, Dragon Quest 2nd edition. Yeah, no, but it's always that kind of stuff. Bickering, arguing, this kind of stuff. And while that has its place, I'll certainly get in an online argument quick. Yeah, I will. I don't care. I'm not here to win a popularity contest. Yeah? I don't care one iota. Check the comments of some of our videos. I'll argue. I'll get into it. Why? Because you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. That's the old saying. Yeah? But the community we have, it just seems generally that we all just get along so well. I harp on it. But that building that community that was free of a lot of the nonsense, but was open to ideas and gaming and people that actually wanted to be involved, etc. Instead of just people that wanted to be in the background who've probably never played a role-playing game in their life, or whatever game the group's centered around. They've probably never played it. They're just on there to cause drama and controversy and stuff. Yeah, we don't have none of that. Thank God. Thank God. If it shows up, we won't have it long, I promise you. I don't have a ban hammer. I've got a two-handed battle axe, and I know how to use it. Yeah. But that goal of having a great community, because I'm selfish, I wanted a community I could be part of. Not a community that I created and it's just there. I wanted a community that I'm directly involved with, that they share their hobbies and memes and all the kind of stuff we love online. Yeah, that's happened. So the next goal was to create a show that's worthy of the community at this point. That's why all this is happening. But yeah, back to it. The holiday special is happening before we get too off the rails. Guys, you talk to me about the community. I can talk to you all day long about it. I got nothing but positive thing after great thing after cool guys and gals to talk about for years. Yeah, but to the holiday special, what we do, like I said, go check it out if you don't understand. What we do is we open up the show for members of the Random Encounter Army. You can contact me. You can send in a video, whether it be a season's greetings or something funny, whatever. I love the funny stuff, but we've had some just heart-touching greetings and stuff too. I love it all. I love it all. But you can make a video submission. You can contact me on the email that's on our About page here on our channel. You can hit me up, questingtablestudio@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't share that too much because I don't want the spam bots to find me. AI is already mad that I talk bad about it. Even though I do love generating images with AI. I can't help it. It's just it's just too fun. Yeah. But yeah, the email questingtablestudio@gmail.com. You can hit me there. You can hit me on Discord. You can message me on our Facebook page or on the Facebook group. Whatever it takes to get in contact with me. And if you want to send a video in, if you want to send a card or a letter in, you want to send a box of stuff in, which I can't believe that people want to do. I'm too humble for all this, right? I enjoy it all, though. I'm not going to lie. But if you want to get your submissions in for the holiday special, get them in by December 20th, please. Yeah, I'll set up some reminders in the groups and different things. I may come back here and give you a reminder on the holiday special during a table talk in the future. But yeah, December 20th, I'm so looking forward to what the community can do. And I want us to do it big time, because we will be doing it in our new gaming room/studio. Yeah? I can't wait. Yeah? One thing I wanted to say about the game room and studio is that because we keep it real and because I'm a real person, I didn't want the filming studio to be me with lights set up and a green screen behind me with some games and stuff on a shelf or whatever it is. I see a lot of that. No, we keep it real. I wanted the game rooms to be just as real as everything else. So no green screens, What do you want? No green screens. Everything you see is work that I've put into the hobby, collecting over the years and painting miniatures, etc. It's just as real. We don't pull no fakery around here. I don't like fakery. That's one way that I tune into a YouTube channel and I get a whiff of something that ain't kosher, I'm out of there. Yeah? But yeah, holiday special definitely happening. We'll try to get it out either on December 25th or maybe just a few days before then. That's why I want it by December 20th. Yeah? Another question I've been asked, update number 4, was are we doing the Halloween special this year? Yes, I love doing the Halloween special. It's literally my favorite time of the year. It pretty much always has been. But I will be filming the Halloween special in the next couple of days and having it to you before Halloween. I've got something special lined up for it. Any more updates that I wanted to throw out there? I don't think so. So let's talk about some gaming. Yeah, I know this episode's going to be a long one. That's okay. We're just getting our feet under us again. I'm just overcoming camera shyness again. Let me move this. You know, I tried to reach out to Spriker. Yeah, because I love their product so much. And I said, hey, would you guys be interested in sponsoring the show? You know, everyone that I've been recommending these sodas. They have root beer, they grape soda, everything. They got some fantastic flavors out there. I've been recommending it, and quite a few members from the Random Encounter Army, they've ran across it and they've picked it up and they've really enjoyed it too. So if anybody knows anybody at Spriker, reach out to them. Tell them Deathstalker 5 wants to make them the tabletop gamer, or how do I want to put it? The soda of choice of the tabletop gamer. Yeah? We can make it big time, baby. But they didn't reply to me. Yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah, but I have nothing but good things to say about them, and you'll see them quite a bit here at the table. Anyway, let's get into some gaming. Just a little bit here. We talked about this a few times before. I haven't had a chance to review it. We'll actually probably end up doing a deep delve on this once we knock out the deep delves that are scheduled starting very soon. Yeah? But we've talked about RuneQuest 3rd edition several times here. We opened it early on in the show in a package I got. This was a game that I had been wanting since, I don't know, around the mid-90s. Yeah? I seen the artwork. I seen this deluxe edition box set sitting behind the counter at Quest Comics. It was a game store we had back in the day. They mainly dealt with comics, but they also dealt in new and used hobby gaming, tabletop games, Avalon Hill board games, war games, Games Workshop stuff, etc. It was the only place that we had in our local area in which to go. And they had used, new, etc. They traded, they bought. It was near our university. So, yeah, they normally had a good selection of things in. I went to, this was on the shelf, and it stayed there for a long time. And they wanted quite a bit. I think it was like $30 back in the day. For a very young me, we're mid-90s. That was a lot of dough. That was a lot of cash. But I did start saving up because I said, I've got to have this. Yeah? The day I had enough money to go in and buy this, I went in after all that time. Lo and behold, I looked for it. Where it was sitting was an empty spot on the shelf. I asked about it. They had just sold it a few days prior. Yeah? My heart sunk. Yeah? But they carried, I think then, that Avalon Hill was basically going out of business. Or maybe they had already went out of business and Wizards of the Coast had purchased them. But I think the store, Quest Comics, had purchased a ton of the leftover stock because they had a ton of Avalon Hill stuff still new in shrink all throughout the store. Board games, etc. They didn't have RuneQuest, so I went searching, and I probably should have brought it here, but no, it's way over there. We'll take a look at it again. I missed out on RuneQuest, but I had to spend the money. You know how it was when you were young. You had that money. It was burning a hole in your pocket. It was catching fire. Had to spend it. I ended up spending the money on a few Avalon Hill games that were cheaper, but the one I picked up that looked most interesting to me was Powers and Perils. Oh boy, yeah. Definitely not RuneQuest. But anyway, I completed the mission. I bought RuneQuest. I bought a bunch of supplements and stuff. This is the 3rd edition, and I absolutely love it. We talked about last year, my solo RPGs in 2024. In that video, I talked about how I broke out RuneQuest for the first time, and we did some solo RPGing in Pavis. Yeah, Sun County, Pavis, in the Glorantha setting. And I had an absolutely fantastic time with it. And there's some supplements and stuff that I use and I poke around with for a little solo play here and there, like the Monster Coliseum, which is basically an arena fighting game. I love arena fighting games. I have a bunch of them for RPG settings, standalone, etc. It's a really good one. Yeah? But regardless, I've fallen in love with 3rd edition RuneQuest. Yeah, the one thing about 3rd edition RuneQuest that I absolutely love the most is that it's divorced from Glorantha, the rules themselves. I like my RPGs to have great settings. Glorantha is an amazing setting. But I also like my rules to be left open so that I can use them to play in any setting that I want to, much like D&D or Rollmaster, for example. So 3rd edition, having the Glorantha stuff, having the Ancient Earth stuff. That was another campaign setting that Avalon Hill did, who published the 3rd edition of RuneQuest here in the States. But having it open to play with just about any setting that I want really impresses me with this edition of RuneQuest. And looking at other editions of RuneQuest, they haven't been so interesting to me. Mostly like 4th, 5th, and I think where they are up to 6 role-playing in Glorantha. Yeah, well, they might be amazing games, and I think they utilize the same BRP system, basic roleplay system, the percentile system for your skills and such. Yeah, I think they all share that. It hasn't really changed over the years, but this is where it's at. This artwork was screaming. This was the one I wanted when I was young, and finally got it, and yeah, I'm absolutely in love with it. But a member of our channel, Rogues Gallery member, Kent the Maddox, he sent us over a package for our last members episode, which turned out to be quite a mega episode. Yeah, that almost felt like a holiday special in of itself. But he sent over a massive package. And in that package, he sent something that I am generally interested in and I have been wanting to check out. He sent us over a reprint of the RuneQuest 2nd edition. They call it RuneQuest Classic here. And I've been digging through this, and you know what? I love it. I love it. Yes, it's tied directly to Glorantha. Yes, the rules themselves, the mechanics like the magic system, etc., are tied directly to Glorantha. But getting more and more into Glorantha, I find that the 2nd edition is quite good. A lot of people hail this as the greatest edition. You know, the 1st edition came out in, I think, 78? Maybe 79. 2nd edition came out in, I think, 1980. And it was basically the 1st edition with all the errata fixed. Yeah? And things, and some things moved around and better organized and such. But yeah, I love the classic art in the book. I love the role-playing system behind it and all of the lore of Glorantha mixed into the rules. Yeah, it even includes an adventure back here. So it's a really nice addition to the library. And I actually want to dig into that. Now, how does it compare to 3rd edition? I can't really say. I haven't started playing it. I do notice very minor differences in things like the increments percentages of raising skills, like 5% and 10% between the 2 editions. How combat's handled in the turns and such is a little bit different and whatnot. But overall, I would say these look highly compatible because they share the same mechanics. There's just a few things that's been tweaked between the 2. Yeah? And so, yeah, I'm definitely excited to be digging deeper into this. And actually, we'll end up playing some classic RuneQuest here on the table. He also sent us something over that I've had my eye on. What brought me to having my eye on 2nd edition was the reprint of Solo Quest, which is this is the classic collection. It's got 3 quests in it, broken up into various adventures. What it is, if you're familiar with the choose your own adventure stuff like Tunnels and Trolls, Fabled Lands, Fighting Fantasy, etc., what this does is this allows you to use the RuneQuest rules, and it gives you pre-written adventures with the numbered paragraphs and options and choices within the adventures in which you can take your characters. So I've never really taken a look at these. They were brought to my attention not too long ago, a couple of years ago, when I was researching 3rd edition. This got brought to my attention. So it was something that I had put on the back burner in the very back synapses as something to grab and check out. But Kent came through. Kent came through on this. So yeah, we'll definitely be digging into these at a future date. Switching back over to 3rd edition RuneQuest now. Is that with 3rd edition, this deluxe box set may be one of the greatest role-playing game box sets ever devised. In it, we have, I'm going to pull them out here, just so you can get an idea. In it, the rules are complete. Yeah, it's a box set where it's not like nowadays where you buy a box set and you get sort of a sampling of the rules or a taste of the rules. No, they gave you a complete game in the box. So they broke it down into these staple bound, pretty common for Avalon Hill of the time, staple bound paperback books. You got your player's book, which is your most all of your rules and everything as a player you're basically going to need. Let's see. We got a magic book, which covers the magic system of RuneQuest. It's quite in-depth, the magic system. I really don't use magic casting characters or magic users so much. But when you have these really in-depth systems, they make you want to check out a magic user of some sort. So, but this covers your magic, religions, etc. You also had your Game Master book. Obviously, the book for the Game Master, how to run the game. Lots of useful tools and such in the book. You had your Creatures book. Again, something for the Game Master, your bestiary, essentially. You also had your Glorantha book, which is your campaign setting for Glorantha. And it just gave you sort of a sampling here. It gave you enough to where you could start creating games in Glorantha and running games in Glorantha. But the bulk of the Glorantha material is going to be in extra supplements. We have quite a few up there. And they came in box sets as well. And they oftentimes had, just like here, this was from Avalon Hill. This was the part of the Ancient Earth setting from Avalon Hill. You know, you got a big map of ancient Europe. Yeah, Ancient Earth was quite literally ancient Earth. They came out with supplements like the Viking supplement was amazing. But they came out with supplements for peoples all in the historical Earth, and you could play RPG games in those historical time periods with those historical peoples and such. Yeah, not so much into that. Not so much into that. Glorantha is much more interesting to me. But like I said, the big thing about 3rd edition is it's open to any setting. Hey, if I want to, I don't know, if I want to run Greyhawk using RuneQuest, and I'm willing to do some conversions and such from D&D, I can run Greyhawk, you know. I can run settings from any RPG, really, especially fantasy RPGs. That's what I like to do. That's what I like, rule systems. I like them to be open a little bit for such things. But if I had one major complaint about this box set and what we got in America, because we only got rules in the box sets from Avalon Hill, yeah, would be the paperback staple-bound construction of the books. While I've used these books and I haven't ran into any problems, even with their age, I'm still finding myself very carefully using them, because as they have aged and as they get older, or even if they were brand new, staple-bound stuff just doesn't hold up over time. Yeah? So that started another quest for Deathstalker V. He wanted to hunt down the hardback RuneQuest 3rd edition books. They never were released in America as far as I know. They were released in the UK by Games Workshop. Yeah? Deathstalker 5 told of his quest to his good friend, Steve Priest, who lives in the UK. Yeah? Many, many moons ago. This summer, said Steve Priest came to Deathstalker 5 and said, "You still looking for those RuneQuest books?" I said, "That I am, but everything I've seen's been way more than I want to pay for it." He said, "I'm watching some on eBay right now. They're coming up toward the end. They're basically in mint condition and no one's really bid on them." Deathstalker 5 said, "Go forth, my son, and conquer. Obtain the Games Workshop RuneQuest books." Yeah? Attain them he did. Oh my goodness. Yeah? Funny story with these is this was a quest where we required hope. He sent these early in July of this year. They showed up literally 2 days ago. Months lost in the mail. But we kept up our hope. He sort of lost hope. But he sort of lost hope. But they did show up. And I've had a chance to just briefly dig into them. And I'm like, wow. Wow. Now, these were published in conjunction with Games Avalon Hill through Chaosium. But here's our first book here. Look at that Games Workshop cover art. Yeah, this is Games Workshop in their prime. Not business-wise, but as far as their game ideas and their art direction and stuff, this is prime Games Workshop to me. So this is a marriage of a great RPG that I absolutely love into that prime era of Game Workshop. And I have to say, I am in love. These books are beautiful. They are well printed. The quality here is amazing. But what I didn't know about these is they are chock full of art, even color art. Oh my goodness, I'm in love, guys. So how they broke theirs down into, instead of several small books, you got your RuneQuest fantasy role-playing adventure game. Yeah? This gets into your creating the adventure, game system, mechanics, combat, skills, the world, you know, game master stuff, creatures, and magic. So you're almost getting the full material of the box set in this one book, but not quite. So if you wanted to really get that full material and even more, you got your advanced RuneQuest book. This goes into more on creating adventures, combat skills, magic, spirit magic, divine magic, sorcery, ritual magic, game mastering, scenario aids, and a ready-to-play scenario, the money tree. Yeah, but this is a much thicker book, and this is where you're going to get all of the material for the RuneQuest 3rd edition role-playing system. Yeah, again, just killer Games Workshop at their prime artwork. But it doesn't end there, because this was actually a 3-book set. And there's several other books that are supplements, you know, campaign material, etc. But as far as core rules go, we got our monsters book. You know, while the other 2 books had some monsters and creatures in them, this is a fully detailed bestiary on the monsters of Glorantha and such. Yeah? Like I said, if I did nothing but just use these as art books, I would buy them. He found them at a great price. My hat's off to him. We made a nice trade, and I know that Steve was worried about the trade, but Deathstalker 5 is not one of those top guys that's going to harangue you over something. It's not your fault. But they still showed up, and I'm just very impressed with this Games Workshop printing an edition of the 3rd edition of RuneQuest. I really wish we could have got these over here, maybe in conjunction with the Avalon Hill published box sets. That would have been super amazing, yeah? But we live in 2025. There's online services, and we have a community that spans the world, from Australia to America to Japan to Saudi Arabia to the UK to Scandinavia to Norway, all the way up to Canada and all across America. We've got members from all over the world. Yeah? We've got a network, baby. So we can make the marriage of the Games Workshop RuneQuest 3rd Edition and the Avalon Hill 3rd Edition of RuneQuest. We can make that marriage complete right here, thanks to modern technology. Yeah? Yeah. So what do we have left here? Because we're already what? We're already 44 minutes in. Before we do the game room tour, again, like I said, we're going full time. We're getting into gear here. I've got a lot of work to do on the back end in preparation for some of the stuff that I want to unleash upon YouTube. Yeah? Get ready. But I have to give a huge thank you to all of you who were so patient in the last couple of months and really the last year. I've had so much going on that, like I said, we've been filming a lot in the broom closet over there where I paint because we couldn't get to the table and stuff. It's your extreme patience. I'm just super grateful for. Yeah, I have a huge gratitude to our channel members, the Rogues Gallery. Yeah, I've been bringing them along on the ride here, and I can't wait to do a whole lot of special stuff for our members only section. So yeah, and I gotta give my hat off to all of our new subscribers. Yeah, we put out that short that almost went to 10 million views. Maybe it'll get there, but it brought in a whole plethora of new people. So I want to welcome you here. I know this is an update video, not terribly exciting for most people, but yeah, we're just jumping into gear, and because we're a community-based YouTube channel, I feel like it's my duty to get in and keep the community updated on what I'm doing and what they have in store. So without further ado, let me put this stuff away, and I'll take the camera, I guess, in hand. That'll be something new. I don't know. I'll have to think about it for a second, but we'll get into a game room tour, and you can see sort of the nooks and crannies and what we have going on. Maybe give you an idea from where we're going, huh? All right, I'm terrible at selfies, as you can see. I'm not a selfie taker. But I said, let's do this game room tour. Before we start, keep in mind that as we go around and we take a look at things, that this is still a work in progress. I just couldn't wait any longer to get on. So some things may be in the room or in places in the room that they might not be in the future. So, and definitely the shelves behind me here. I literally just have been bringing my gaming stuff up from different rooms and sticking it on shelves the best I could and such. They definitely need to be organized and different things moved around and such. So yeah, that's stuff that we'll be working on as we go along. But let's get into this tour. Why don't we? Let's get over here to the main attraction for me, which is the questing table. Yeah, it's been featured in all of our episodes pretty much when we were in the living room and such. But yeah, it's a full-size table. You know, it's actually over 8 foot long, and it's a little under 4 foot wide, but it's able to handle any of your wargaming needs, big board games, solo RPGs, group play, etc. Plenty of room. 8 people can sit here easily. Yeah? I love having a big table for gaming after having a small table for many years. So to me, that's the main attraction. And of course, around the table, I keep a lot of the stuff that I may need for my solo gaming or game mastering. Over there, we can see, we'll get a close-up of those in a second, but there's a lot of terrain and miniatures and such on some custom floating shelves that I put in. Let's take a look at the artwork here. I apologize for the reflections. Let's see if I can maneuver away. Here we have the poster out of Dragon Mountain that Kent Maddox sent over, a box set that I said if we ever built a game room, this would be prominently displayed. So as you can see, that was the truth. Up here we have an interesting art piece. maybe I'll move around a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if anywhere we go, there's so many lights in here and such. But it's an interesting art piece. I'll move the camera around just a little bit so you can sort of get an idea. But that's an original store poster of Flying Buffalo advertising the solo adventures for mercenary spies and private eyes, as well as tunnels and trolls. Yeah, I couldn't think of a better poster to have up in my game room. We got a few other posters there. Like I said, these floating shelves, they're holding random assortment of things like trees and miniatures and terrain and such. I don't know how those will actually end up looking, because I have a heck of a lot of more miniatures to put in here. Yeah. Over here in the back corner over there, we have some maps and some game mats stuck in the corner. And we have a lot of random terrain that I've just been sticking in. Some stuff up top. But yeah, definitely this is going to change. There's a bunch of terrain down there that I haven't even opened because I had nowhere to store it. We do now. So yeah, that's going to change. But yeah, like I said, I just like having all that stuff in reach. I'm a big time miniatures gamer. Even with RPGs and such. So having it all within easy reach and able to easily set up on the table right here is a dream come true. Over here, now those shelves, they match our main shelves that we bought a couple of years ago. They're completely stuffed full for the most part. They do need organizing and such. And like I said, the overall thing, it may change a little bit. I don't know. But as you might see, I sold Hero Quest and Advanced Hero Quest. And several other games. I've been slowly letting go of some games that aren't getting a whole lot of play in order to grab funds to do this project, to build this game room and such as that we've done. So, a sacrifice, of giving up some precious games, but we've came 15 steps forward off that one step backwards. Over here on this wall, we have some maps of the world of Aird, Troll Lord Games, Castles and Crusades campaign setting that I really like. Over here we have some old VHS tapes and such that I've been moving in, and some random stuff. That's for the members of the Rogues Gallery. We do a whole lot of weird, crazy things for there. Over here we have our entrance and our exit. Our entrance and exit, and then we have a nice large closet. There's stuff full of stuff that we haven't figured out where it goes in the room yet or not. So a nice, good storage spot. Of course, I hung up the Gary Chalk signed print. And I also hung up an original piece by John Stolp. He's a Rogues Gallery member. He sent that over on our first holiday special. I said it had to go up. It had to go up in the room. Talking about art, I also grabbed a comic style poster for the Alien movie. Sort of a retro comic. Even for the Alien movie in the 70s, this was more of like 50s art or whatever. I fell in love with this poster. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So of course we had to have it represented in the game room. Yeah? Now if we come over here, this section here actually serves several purposes. Number one is as a place to play some games. Why not? We currently have the MSX hooked up with Space Mambo running. But this desk, it serves a lot of storage purposes and such for our computers and whatnot. But also, there's our new laptop that we're going to be using for editing and such things. And it's quite a bit more powerful than our old laptop. So maybe it'll allow us to do some new things that we haven't done before. Just a quick note. I'm probably the only YouTube channel you're subscribed to that still uses a VCR in their video production. Yeah? But what this is it's set up. We've got our capture card, upscalers, different things all the way around here, sound mixers, etc. That it's easy for us to set up, edit videos, but also do live streaming directly from original hardware, which has been an absolute nightmare in research and testing to get set up. I don't want to play so much from emulators. Yeah? I want people to see what the original hardware could do, and especially with computers, I enjoy having the keyboards and everything of the original hardware built in. So yeah, up here we have some more of the custom floating shelves that I installed. with just favorite computer games, console games, etc. of mine that I wanted to put out on display. It's a good mix of things. You might see a few favorites of your own up there. That definitely may change. Over here we have some old shelves of mine, and there's stuff full. We have, you know, a selection of various computers and such, mixed in with the various hardware. Software cartridges and tapes and discs and stuff like that. Over here we have stacks of games for our consoles and computers as well. Definitely not organized. Definitely going through it here in the next couple of days and getting it. So we still have some original boxes for some of our consoles and computers and random stuff there as well. So yeah, let me get this thing. I told you I wasn't good with selfies, right? Let me get the camera. There we go. Goodness gracious, that screen was a lot to flip around. But regardless, you know, we have a dedicated space. I can't wait to keep bringing you quality content. I can't wait to up the quality of content. This will definitely allow us to do so. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. I'm going to be giving it my all. And I just want to see us grow as a channel and as a community and have as much fun as we possibly can together. Because that's, in the end, that's what it's all about. Regardless, and anyway, because I got to throw that in, I will see you guys in the upcoming Halloween special.
And this has been but one tale from the days of high adventure. You can join Deathstalker V on his quest by hitting that subscription button and joining his random encounter army. On the channel's About page, you will find our Facebook page and Facebook group where you can get more directly involved with the fun. And make sure you use our affiliate links to support our show.